Welcome back to Black Star Dove. Welcome back to my channel. As always, I need you to hit me up with that HBO special. Let's help a brother out. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Go ahead, click that like and subscribe button. I most definitely appreciate you. Let's talk about coffee dates. Man, this is such a hot topic that it was the hot topic that you never knew that was, but it is, if that makes sense. Okay, so I've watched a lot of videos and I did a lot of research, and a lot of people don't seem to be okay with coffee dates, both men and women. I'll give you my personal opinion on coffee dates, but for what I've seen, it's split down the middle. And then people have their reasons for each, but I'm just gonna focus on women because technically those are the ones that's being asked out. So from what I have, from the information that I have gathered, this is only from my perspective, it is split down the middle. 50% prefer coffee dates, 50% say no. Why do 50% prefer coffee dates? According to them, it makes them feel safe, makes them feel secure. They can actually have an outing with you and they don't have to feel endangered by that person. A lot of women say that a lot of men, when they take you out to dinner and stuff like that, they feel like they're entitled to sex or something like that. So, but if you take somebody out for coffee, you only spend like $5 or $6. So, I guess it's like a neutral setting without you. Let's just say if y'all don't hit it off, that person doesn't feel entitled as much, if that makes sense. Excuse me, I do apologize about that. But yeah, that person doesn't feel as entitled as much, which is kind of like scary to think about it, like saying that you want to go on a coffee date because you don't really trust that person, because that person might try to sexually assault you. That's just from the stuff that I have gathered. There's the other half where they say that they're worth more than a coffee date. And I believe that, you're worth whatever it is that you think you're worth. And as long as you stick to your values and morals, you'll get what you're worth. Now, when you sell yourself less for short, you're no longer worth what you're worth anymore. You're worth whatever someone paid for it. But as long as no one has paid for it, you can still keep that value up there and say, if you want this, this is how much it is. But other than that, and they talk about certain things like how much their hair and makeup and all that stuff costs, and they're not going out on no coffee date when they can just FaceTime and you can get to know them that way, since you want to try to get to know them. And I was like, okay, that's fair enough. My counter argument to that is that if you go to like a lot of these black women's pages, they talk about how they do things for themselves, how they get the makeup for themselves, how they get their hair done and dress up for themselves. They do it for themselves and not for a man. So if you're doing it for yourself and not for a man, then how much these things cost shouldn't really factor in. Because whether I'm there or not, you should be dressing like that on your own because you're doing it for you. So the fact that I'm there is just a bonus. You can't say, well, my hair costs this much, my makeup costs this much and this much and all that stuff, and then turn around and say that I don't do it for a man, I do it for myself. Which one is it? Because at that point, you're talking out of both sides. But I do understand this, and this is my take on it. I would not do a coffee date because I'm worth way more than a cup of coffee. You want to try to get to know me or something like that? We're gonna go to a steakhouse. We have a good time because I'm going to a steakhouse for myself. You're just a byproduct of it because I was gonna go there anyway. That's the same thing. I held myself to the same standards that I do to women. When I sit there and say that, hey, you was gonna wear that wig, you was gonna do that makeup anyway, I'm just a byproduct of you. I'm going to a steakhouse anyway. You're just a byproduct of me. I feel like I know that I'm worth more than that. That's just me personally. But I can understand how some men would feel like, hey, I wanna see if you like me for me before I spend this type of money on you. But, if we're gonna quote Kevin Samuels, and I'll play the video right now.
Yeah, I feel like beautiful women should be free. You think like you should be able to slide into somebody's DMs and chat her up and then have her come through and Netflix and chill. I hear more bullshit from men talk about, man, women out here dating this and that, and I'm not going to spend more than $20 on a date until I get to know such and so forth. That's what I think of all y'all saying that shit. So I think of all men saying this shit, and let me tell you why I think that. Because it is on us to ask better questions before you take somebody out. If you end up going out with a woman and she is a dinner scammer, then you failed. That is a horrible attitude to go into the market. I'm going to treat all women. I'm going to take a woman that's obviously up here out to Starbucks because I don't want to get scammed for $30. Keep your broke ass at home.
There you go. It's over. It's over. So, as you can see, even what Kevin Samuel says about coffee dates, he's not really feeling it, and I understand that. My thing is this: because 50% of women prefer them and 50% don't, even though from what I'm getting, the 50% that prefer them is doing it for more safety concerns. So it seems like they would want to have an actual date, but they don't feel safe. So that's a whole other story. And of course, there's some women who genuinely don't mind going on coffee dates and stuff like that because they say it's all about the person and not what you're spending. But everybody has different standards. I'm gonna tell you something that I learned a long time ago. Find a woman that fits your budget and boom, you can afford her. If you're trying to go reach up super high, know that the higher you reach, the more you spend. Just make sure you have the pockets for it. Don't go broke trying to impress everybody, though. That's my biggest advice to you. Because a lot of people want that black luxury. They want that bad chick. They want all that stuff. We're not even talking about, we're just talking about bare necessities to take somebody out. So the higher you reach, usually the more you pay. In most circumstances, we're talking about the collective. But for the women who don't do coffee dates, I understand it. I completely there with you. For the women who do, especially for the ones that want to do it for safety reasons, I 100% agree, and I'm down with it as well. For the man who wants to try to take women on coffee dates, just ask her. She'll let you know off the bat whether she's gonna do it or not. If she doesn't do it, you can FaceTime her, and then y'all can get to know each other that way. And then if you like each other, take her on a real date. Don't be afraid to show that woman that you're trying to be that alpha male, right? You're trying to be that provider. You want her to submit. Provide the necessary materials for her to submit. That's all I'm saying. Other than that, take care. I love you. Peace.